September 27th is not just another day on the calendar. Some dates carry a strange pull, as if they open a doorway to something greater. These are often called energetic windows. They are moments when our thoughts and emotions feel amplified, as though life itself is listening more closely. On such days, intention has weight. Action feels guided. The question is, how do we approach this? How do we treat one day as a portal for change? An energetic window is not about superstition. It is about awareness. When we step into a day with presence, we change how we experience time. Certain dates, like September 27th, can serve as reminders that time is not always neutral. They can become markers where possibility expands. Science shows the mind and body respond to focus. When thought and feeling come together with clarity, measurable shifts happen. This is the essence of treating a day as a portal, alignment of mind, body, and awareness. How can you use this? Begin with intention. Write down one clear focus for the day, something you wish to create or release. Then pause for a few minutes of silence. Imagine that focus is already complete. Feel the gratitude and joy as though it has happened. Carry that feeling with you through the day. If doubts appear, return to your chosen vision. You don't need complex rituals. What matters is staying in a state of openness and trust. September 27th becomes powerful only if you choose it to be. Think of it as a doorway. You can pass through without thought, or you can step through with intention. The choice is always yours. When you treat time as sacred, even for one day, it shifts how you see yourself in the future. Approach it with curiosity. Allow it to be an experiment. That is how ordinary days become extraordinary opportunities. Have you ever felt pulled in two directions? Your mind thinking one way and your heart feeling another? That conflict drains energy. Heart-brain coherence is the opposite. It is when your thoughts and feelings work together in harmony. On September 27th, practicing coherence can help you create a meaningful shift. This is not just about being positive. It is about creating a state of balance inside your body that supports change outside. When the heart and brain are in sync, the body enters balance. Stress drops, clarity rises, and energy feels smoother. Studies show emotions like gratitude and appreciation create measurable harmony in the body. This harmony is called coherence. You don't need hours of practice to feel it. Even a few minutes of breathing with intention can change your state. When your state changes, your choices and experiences shift naturally. Here is one way to try it on September 27th. Sit quietly and focus on the area of your heart. Breathe slowly in for 5 seconds, out for 5 seconds. Imagine your breath flowing through your chest. Now bring to mind something you truly appreciate. Feel it deeply. Keep the breath and the feeling together for a few minutes. This simple act creates coherence. It is like tuning your inner instruments so they play the same melody. Why does this matter on a special day? Because coherence strengthens the link between your inner world and the outer world. When your heart and mind move together, life feels smoother. September 27th can be the day you choose alignment. It may seem simple, but this small shift opens the door to clearer choices, stronger focus, and more peace. A single day of practice can leave an imprint that lasts far beyond the calendar. For centuries, people spoke of an inner eye, a way of seeing beyond the physical. Temples and art often used the pine cone as a symbol of awakening. Today, that symbol is linked to the pineal gland, a small organ deep in the brain. On September 27th, the focus on inner sight becomes especially powerful. By understanding both the ancient meaning and modern science, you can open to a deeper state of awareness. The pineal was once called the third eye. Mystics believed it was the seat of intuition and vision. Modern science knows the pineal helps regulate sleep and circadian rhythms. Some teachings suggest that focused breath and meditation can activate this gland, producing vivid states of inner clarity. Whether seen as symbol or biology, the message is the same. The pineal represents the possibility of perceiving beyond the ordinary. On September 27th, try a breathing practice for inner sight. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Imagine drawing your breath from the base of your spine up to the center of your brain. Hold for a moment, then release gently. As you breathe, picture a small light shining inside your mind. You don't need to force anything. Simply allow the space for insight. The point is not to see visions, but to awaken awareness. Think of the pineal as a symbol of awakening. You don't have to believe in mystical stories to benefit from the practice. Breathing with focus and visualizing light can shift your state of mind. September 27th gives you the chance to look inward, to clear your inner lens. The clearer it becomes, the easier it is to notice possibilities that were hidden before. That is the gift of inner sight. The human mind holds power we often overlook. In medicine, this is called the placebo effect. A simple sugar pill can sometimes create healing simply because the person believes it will. This is not imagination. It is the body responding to belief. Now imagine using that same force on purpose. September 27th can become a day to direct belief for your own growth and change. Belief works because the body listens to the mind. When you believe strongly, your brain sends signals that affect hormones, nerves, and even immunity. Science has shown this again and again. If belief can trigger healing by accident, belief paired with intention becomes a tool for transformation. This is how one day of focused belief can create lasting shifts. On September 27th, try writing one clear belief statement. For example, I am full of energy and balance. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and imagine this reality is already true. Feel the joy, relief, or peace that comes with it. The key is emotion. When belief is charged with feeling, the body responds as though the change is real. Belief alone is not a replacement for effort or care, but it is a hidden strength we can direct. Treat September 27th as an experiment in belief. Instead of waiting for proof, act as though the future you want is already here. Send that signal and notice how life begins to echo it back. Sometimes one day of strong belief is the seed for a much bigger change. Imagine standing on a bridge. Behind you lies the familiar past. Ahead is the unknown future. Most people keep looking back, repeating the same patterns. But to create something new, you must cross into the unknown. September 27th can serve as that crossing point. It is a chance to step away from the habits of the past and into the possibilities of the future. Crossing the bridge means leaving behind old identity. It means no longer being defined by past failures, fears, or labels. Instead, you step into the unknown with openness. Science supports this shift. The brain wires itself around repeated experiences. When you choose new thoughts and emotions, you interrupt the old patterns. This is how change begins, by daring to cross. On September 27th, start by noticing the thoughts that keep you tied to the past. Write them down. Then write new thoughts that represent the person you want to become. Throughout the day, when old patterns appear, pause and replace them with your new choice. Feel the difference in your body. Each time you do this, you take one step farther across the bridge. Crossing the bridge is not about one perfect leap. It is about choosing, moment by moment, to face forward instead of back. September 27th can be your symbolic day to make that choice. Leave behind what no longer serves you. Step into the unknown, not with fear, but with curiosity. That is where new possibilities live. There are moments when one experience changes everything. People often share stories of attending a workshop or meditation and walking away with a shift they could not explain. These stories may sound unbelievable at first, but they highlight something powerful. The body and mind can sometimes respond dramatically in a short span of time. September 27th can be treated as one of those moments. A day you decide to focus deeply and open to change. Reports exist of people overcoming fear, reducing pain, or feeling renewed energy after a single focused session. While everyone's experience is unique, the pattern is often the same. They entered the practice with clear intention and strong emotion. Instead of repeating old patterns, they stepped into a new state. Science reminds us that the brain and body are dynamic. They can respond quickly to new signals. When thought, feeling, and intention combine, surprising shifts can happen. On September 27th, give yourself permission to design your own single session. Set aside a specific block of time, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, where you do nothing but focus on your chosen outcome. Write it down, breathe slowly, and imagine it as real. Add emotion, as if the change already exists. Treat this time as sacred. If doubt shows up, remind yourself that stories of rapid change are not rare. They are simply examples of what happens when the mind and heart align. Not every change is instant, and not every session transforms everything. But when you approach one day with focus and openness, you create the conditions for a breakthrough. September 27th can be that day. Let it be your experiment. You never know, your story may become one of those single-session transformations that inspire others to believe in their own power. Every ritual, no matter how simple, has power because it shapes the brain. The reason is neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to rewire itself through repeated experience. On September 27th, creating even a small ritual can lay down new pathways in your mind. It doesn't take years to begin. Sometimes a single day of intentional practice is enough to spark change. When you repeat an action with focus and emotion, neurons fire together. Over time, they wire together, forming new patterns. Rituals work because they combine repetition with meaning. Lighting a candle, writing a statement, or breathing in a certain rhythm sends signals to your brain that something important is happening. The brain responds by strengthening those circuits. Science shows this process is the foundation of habit and change. On September 27th, try a simple 3-part ritual. In the morning, set an intention and breathe slowly while focusing on gratitude. At midday, pause for a few moments of silence, reconnecting with your goal. At night, write down 3 things you felt or noticed. This sequence doesn't take much time, but it engages your brain throughout the day. Each step reinforces the new pattern you want to create. Rituals are not magic, they are signals. They tell your brain and body that something meaningful is happening. When you treat September 27th as a ritual day, you give yourself the gift of focus. Small actions done with awareness can rewire the mind faster than you think. Let this date be your experiment and ritual, and see how even one day of practice can leave a lasting imprint. Can your emotions influence your biology? This question leads us to epigenetics, the study of how environment and signals affect which genes turn on or off. It may sound complex, but the idea is simple. The way you think and feel can send messages to your cells. On September 27th, you can treat your emotional state as a signal to your biology. While deep changes take time, one day can begin the process. Epigenetics shows that genes are not fixed switches. They respond to signals such as stress, diet, and even emotional states. For example, chronic stress can turn on genes related to inflammation, while positive experiences can support genes linked to healing. This means your daily state matters. Every emotion, every thought, every breath is a signal your body receives. Change the signal and you influence the outcome. On this day, choose one elevated emotion to focus on: gratitude, joy, or love. Spend a few minutes several times during the day bringing this feeling into your body. Imagine each cell responding to this positive signal. Pair it with slow breathing and a clear vision of the future you want. You don't have to force results. Just treat it as a way of speaking directly to your biology. Epigenetics reminds us that we are not victims of fixed genes. We are participants in how they express. September 27th can be your reminder that your emotions and thoughts are more than passing states. They are signals shaping your future health and experience. Begin with one day and let it be the start of a new relationship with your own biology. We carry so many labels: our name, our role, our past experiences. But what happens if you let all of that go, even for one day? The practice of becoming nothing is about releasing identity and stepping into pure awareness. On September 27th, you can try this as an experiment. Instead of being your old story, you can choose to simply be a consciousness without boundaries. When we let go of identity, we release the weight of past mistakes, expectations, and limits. The mind becomes lighter. Science shows that meditation can calm brain regions tied to self-referencing, reducing the chatter of me. This creates space for clarity and creativity. Becoming nothing is not about erasing yourself. It is about freeing yourself from the cage of constant identity. On September 27th, sit quietly and imagine setting aside your name, your job, your roles. With each breath, release another layer. See yourself as awareness only, a presence without a story. Stay in this space for a few minutes, noticing how it feels. If thoughts come, let them drift by. The point is not to stop thinking, but to stop attaching. For a short while, allow yourself to be no one and nowhere. When you return from this practice, you may feel lighter, as if you stepped outside of time. Becoming nothing creates room for becoming something new. September 27th can be the day you experiment with this freedom. You are not your past. You are not your labels. You are awareness itself. And from that awareness, you can create any future you choose. There is power in numbers. When people come together with shared focus, the energy feels different. Think of concerts, ceremonies, or global meditations. Many report a sense of connection that is hard to describe. On September 27th, you can tap into this collective energy even from home. The idea is that intention multiplies when shared. Studies on group meditation have shown changes in crime rates, mood, and even social tension during coordinated practices. While results are debated, the pattern is clear: collective focus has impact. When many people hold the same vision, it seems to influence probability in subtle ways. Whether through resonance, coherence, or simple psychology, the effect is real for those who join. You don't need to be in the same room with thousands of others. On September 27th, simply set an intention to connect with others around the world who are focusing on love, peace, or healing. Spend a few minutes in meditation or silence, imagining yourself part of a vast field of people sharing the same energy. Feel the sense of unity, even if you never meet them. Collective intention shows us that change is not only personal, it can be shared. September 27th is your chance to participate in something bigger than yourself. By joining this field, you contribute to a wave of possibility, and while the outcome may be invisible, the feeling of unity and strength will stay with you. One day, one intention, many hearts together. That is the power of collective focus. We all crave certainty. We want to know how things will turn out, when they will happen, and what steps to take. Yet certainty can become a cage. It keeps us repeating old patterns. The unknown, on the other hand, is where possibilities live. On September 27th, you can treat the day as an experiment in stepping into the unknown. Instead of demanding control, you can let life surprise you. Science shows that the brain loves prediction. It wants to conserve energy by repeating what it knows. But miracles and breakthroughs rarely come from the familiar. They come when we release control and enter new territory. Think of inventors, explorers, or artists. They all had to walk into uncertainty. The same applies to your own life. By loosening your grip, you create space for the unexpected. On September 27th, practice one simple shift. When you feel the urge to control or predict, pause. Take a breath and say, "I trust the unknown." Then continue with curiosity instead of fear. You can also try writing down one area of your life where you usually cling to certainty. For one day, let that area be open. Treat it like an adventure. The unknown can feel uncomfortable, but it is also full of possibility. By stepping into it, you give yourself the chance to meet something new. September 27th can be your personal experiment in uncertainty. You may not know what will happen, but that's the point. Sometimes the most powerful outcomes are the ones you never planned. Some days feel ordinary, while others carry a special charge. Cultures across time have believed that certain dates align with cycles of energy. September 27th can be viewed through this lens, not as random but as part of a greater rhythm. When you mark the date with intention, you step into a wider field of possibility. Nature runs on cycles, seasons, tides, moon phases, and even the rhythms of your body. Research shows that human biology follows circadian rhythms, and moods can shift with the calendar. When we align with these patterns, we move with nature instead of against it. Certain dates can therefore become symbolic triggers, reminding the brain to enter a heightened state of awareness. On September 27th, acknowledge the day as significant. Begin by setting a special intention in the morning, reminding yourself that this date marks a new beginning. Treat the whole day as if the universe is tuned to your focus. It doesn't mean the date itself is magical. It means your belief and attention activate its power. Dates are like doorways. When you walk through them with awareness, you feel the shift. September 27th can be more than just another day. It can be a marker in your personal timeline. By honoring it as sacred, you align yourself with cycles larger than your own, stepping into the quantum field of possibility. There are countless stories of people who picked one date as their turning point. They decided that from that day forward, life would be different. Whether it was quitting a habit, starting a practice, or changing a mindset, the choice to mark a date made the difference. September 27th can be that kind of day for you. Some people quit smoking on a chosen date and never looked back. Others started daily meditation on a single day and built a lifelong habit. Athletes, artists, and spiritual seekers often describe the same thing. One day, one decision, complete shift. The key was their commitment to treating that date as sacred. It was more than a day, it became their personal rebirth. You don't need a dramatic event to claim September 27th as your marker. Simply decide what you want to release or begin. Write it down. Then, when doubts arise, remind yourself, this change started on September 27th. Let the date be your anchor. Over time, the brain will link your transformation to this moment, reinforcing your commitment. Change begins when you decide it does. By marking a date, you give your choice weight and meaning. September 27th can be that kind of day for you, a personal line in the sand. Years from now, you may look back and say, that was the day everything began. We often wait. We wait for the right time, the perfect sign, or better circumstances, but waiting delays destiny. Inspiration has energy, and if not acted on, it fades. On September 27th, you can treat the day as a call to act, not later, but now. Studies in psychology show that when you act on an idea quickly, you strengthen the brain's link between thought and behavior. If you wait, the momentum disappears. That is why small steps matter. Even one tiny action toward your goal keeps the energy alive. Waiting, by contrast, reinforces hesitation. Pick one idea or goal you've been holding. On September 27th, do something about it, make the call, start the journal, sign up for the class. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be real. The key is acting within the day, proving to yourself that inspiration leads to movement. Destiny doesn't wait. It meets you at the point of decision. On September 27th, let your actions match your intentions. Take even a small step, and you will shift the course of your future. This day can be your proof that waiting is no longer your story. We have explored many layers of meaning for September 27th, from neuroscience to energy, from rituals to collective intention. What matters most is not the theories, but how you choose to engage the day. It can be just another page on the calendar, or it can be a portal you step through. We saw that the brain rewires through ritual, that emotions shape biology, that letting go creates freedom, and that acting on inspiration moves destiny forward. We also learned that one date, when treated with meaning, can anchor transformation. These are not just ideas. They are tools you can use. On September 27th, decide what role you want the day to play in your life. Treat it as sacred, focus your intention, act on your inspiration, and allow the unknown to unfold. Remember that change does not need years. Sometimes it begins with a single choice on a single date. September 27th is not just another day. It is your opportunity to close old chapters and open new ones. Use it as a personal portal, a doorway to your next chapter. And when you look back, you may see that this was the moment you truly stepped into your power.